All right, let's talk about something pretty incredible. What if I told you there's this powerful switch inside your body, a tiny molecule that basically decides if your cells should be growing or if they should be repairing? Well, learning how to flip this switch, that might just be one of the biggest keys to aging well, and it's called mTOR.
So let me just ask you this. Right now, this very second, is your body building or is it repairing? You might not think about it, but the answer is way more important than you realize. And it's all controlled by this one single master switch. Okay, let's really get into it.
Every single moment of every single day, your body is making a choice. It's this really fundamental decision. Are we going to build things up, or are we going to clean house and maintain what we've already got? And this whole process, it's all run by your body's main growth switch.
And here it is. Now, the scientific name is a total mouthful, mechanistic target of rapamycin. Yeah, we're just going to call it mTOR, okay? So what is it really? At its core, mTOR is like the central command post. It tells your cells, hey, we've got energy, we've got nutrients coming in. It's the signal that says it's officially go time for growth. I love this analogy. Think of mTOR as your body's general contractor, right? So when the supplies, protein, energy, when they show up on the job site, the contractor is the one who gives the green light. It's the one yelling, all right, let's start construction, and telling all the cellular workers to get busy. So when that mTOR switch gets flipped on, your body gets to work on some really, really important jobs. I'm talking building new muscle after a workout, repairing tissues that are damaged, and making all the new proteins that are essential for just about everything. This is absolutely crucial for your strength and your recovery. But, and this is a big but, here's where the story gets really interesting. I mean, growth is essential, right? We need it. But having that construction site running 24/7 with no breaks, that can lead to some serious problems. And this brings us to this idea of a critical balance, the two sides of the mTOR coin. And the most important point to get is this. Growth itself isn't the bad guy here. It's constant growth that's the problem. See, when mTOR is just stuck in the on position for too long, maybe from constant eating or from stress, it actually stops your body from ever switching into that vital repair mode. And what happens then? Well, all that cellular damage just starts to pile up, which can increase the risk for a lot of age-related issues. It's basically like hitting the fast-forward button on aging. So let's break it down. When mTOR is on, it's all systems go for growth and building. Simple enough. But when mTOR is off, your body flips a different switch. It goes into repair and renewal mode. This is when this amazing process called autophagy kicks in. Your cells get tougher and more resilient, and real rejuvenation can actually happen.
Okay, so what is autophagy? It literally means self-eating, which sounds a little weird, I know, but think of it as your body's ultimate internal recycling program. It's like an elite cleanup crew. During autophagy, your cells literally hunt down old, busted parts, all that cellular junk that's just clogging up the works, and they break it down to be reused. This cleanup process is seriously one of the most powerful longevity tools we know about. And the key? It only really gets going when mTOR is quiet.
And that quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Healthy aging isn't about forcing mTOR to be permanently on or permanently off. It's all about the rhythm. It's about that seamless switching back and forth between the two. Mastering that cycle, that's where the magic really is. So, you might be wondering, how in the world did we figure all this stuff out? Well, the story behind how mTOR was discovered is it's amazing. It wasn't found in some fancy high-tech lab. Nope, it was found in the dirt, on one of the most remote and isolated islands on the entire planet. Yeah, our story starts on Easter Island. The place with those giant, mysterious stone head statues? Back in the 1970s, some scientists were there just collecting soil samples, and they stumbled onto something that they absolutely did not see coming.
Deep in that soil, they found a tiny bacterium that was making this compound. They named it rapamycin, after the island's native name, Rapa Nui. At first, they thought, okay, cool, it's an antifungal. Then they realized, whoa, wait, this is a really powerful immune suppressor. But the biggest shocker, that came decades later. They found that when they gave this stuff to lab animals, it dramatically extended their lifespan. And how did it do it? By blocking the very same pathway we now call mTOR.
Okay, so that's a great story, but what does it mean for us, right? How do we make this practical? Well, the good news is you don't need to go find some rare compound from a remote island to manage your own mTOR rhythm. You can actually influence this whole cycle just with your daily habits.
Now let me be super clear about this. The goal is not to turn mTOR off forever. That would actually be a disaster. Remember, you need it to build muscle and stay strong. The whole key, the secret, is to cycle it, to have those times for activation and then follow them up with quiet periods for that all-important cellular cleanup.
So here are 4 really powerful ways to get that cycle going. First up, intermittent fasting. This basically creates a daily window where mTOR naturally quiets down, which lets that autophagy process get to work. Second, strength training. This is awesome because it turns mTOR on exactly where you want it, in your muscles, to help them grow. Then you've got timing your protein. The idea is to fuel that growth right around your workouts, but not keep mTOR firing all day long. And last but not least, sleep. Deep sleep is your body's prime time for repair, so making it a priority, well, that's just non-negotiable. When you get right down to it, you can think of this whole mTOR cycle just like breathing. It's that simple. You have to breathe in, that's your activation, your growth, and then you have to breathe out, that's your rest and repair. You can't have one without the other, and true health is found in that beautiful rhythm between the two.
So, the big secret here, it isn't some magic pill, and it's not about being stuck in one state forever. It's really about the wisdom of balance. It's about designing a lifestyle where you strategically choose when to build and grow, and you intentionally make time to rest and repair.
And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Now that you understand the switch, the power is literally in your hands. So when you look at your day, at your week, at your life,